Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Gone Racing. Jeff Motley alongside Brendan Gaughan. The pressure is on us today if you're watching on YouTube because we are live. We're not tape delayed on YouTube today. We are tape delayed on SiriusXM. But, Brendan, it's good to be back in the studio.
I can't focus right now, Jeff. I'm very, very unhappy with the entire South Point studio today. Like you have no clue how upset I am with South Point studio today. It's terrible right now. And of all days to be live, a day that I am going to be angry. I am going to drive angry.
You are like, okay, we're going to have to talk. So we have to let everybody know that you are a movie buff. And right now you're acting like Statler in the balcony at the Muppets, sitting up there. And because you were upset and angry.
Am I Waldorf or Statler?
Waldorf or Statler. Which one was the most? They were both angry.
They're both angry.
So I called you Statler, but you can be Waldorf if you prefer.
I'm so before the show started, somebody behind the screen here that you folks can't see on YouTube, basically the entire crew, forget about picking on one. One of them is calling themselves a soothsayer right now. Somebody behind this crew says that they are so good at picking things that they're not in the lead in Gone Racing standings, but that they are that good at making bets right now that they're calling themselves a savant even. And I said, okay, Professor Trelawney. And not one of the 6 people that are in this room right now could name who Professor Sybil Trelawney was. And I'm very, very upset. I don't care if this is a NASCAR show. I don't care we're on NASCAR radio. You guys can deal with this for about 2 minutes while I rant about nobody in here knew who Professor Sybil Trelawney was. If you are watching live on YouTube right now, please bombard Ann with comments of who Professor Sybil Trelawney is and the rest of the crew here, because it's very, very upsetting to me that you guys, come on, it's Harry Potter, folks. It's Harry Potter. It's one of the biggest franchises in history. Can't get that one. I'm very upset right now.
Yeah, there's also going to be.
So I'm going to fill this episode with all.
There are also going to be people messaging in to Ann saying we don't know who Professor Tribbiani is either, whatever his name is.
I was just going to say, that's TV. I mean, I can guess at least it's television.
Well, I did that on purpose.
Yes,
of course I did. So, all right, are we going to talk a little racing?
Yeah, save yourselves because I'm just going to keep ranting if you don't get back to Tyler Reddick and
all right. So before we get in last week's race,
I have to say that last week I said Seabell won 3 in a row. I was completely wrong.
He had won 3 in a row, but not to start the season.
Not to start the season, and this is unprecedented territory right now going after Tyler Reddick.
One quick news breaking thing. It's just coming down right before we went on the air here on our show. So this will kind of affect a little bit of the betting lines this week. Alex Bowman is out this week. He has vertigo. We don't know if he'll be back next week at Las Vegas or not, but he's out for this week at Phoenix. Your buddy, Fast Pasta, awesome. Anthony Alfredo.
Super excited for Anthony.
Him in the car.
He, just so people know, Anthony does most of the test driving and sim driving for Hendrick Motorsports. So that is why Chevrolet and Hendrick are giving him a shot. So good luck to my guy, Anthony, and super excited and happy for him. I mean, I'm bummed for the situation, right? This is Alex Bowman's home race. This is not
track he's done well. In fact, he really kind of burst on the scene subbing for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
right
with
here.
A great run here.
And this is not a Martin Truex Jr., like home track. This is really Alex Bowman's home track. So if he's not getting in the race car for this race, he definitely has to have some issues. So Alex, our best to you. Hope you're feeling all right. And Fast Pasta, go show your stuff, man. Good luck.
Yeah, and so once we get into our odds, we obviously will not have any odds on Alex Bowman. He is in a group this week. We will keep. Are we going to keep the group?
We'll keep it for us.
The books are probably going to scratch it, but we'll throw it out there and let you know what the odds are. We probably shouldn't pick it ourselves, so you can pick it if you want.
3-man race.
It's a 3-man race. So, all right, but let's talk a little bit about last week's race at COTA. First off, 3 in a row for Tyler Reddick. Obviously, when you think about the great drivers, the Earnhardts, the Pettys, the Johnsons, the Pearson, Yarborough, Waltrip, all these people, never done anything like this.
This is pretty impressive. I mean, when you talk, yes, the first 2 races, of course, are super speedway races now, right? What you and I used to call restrictor plates. So there is a little bit there that people are going, There's the black helicopter crowd, which I will not even give them a ounce of credo.
You've said too much already.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up. But it's, look, Tyler Reddick has flat out, he is prepared. He's doing what he has to do. That 2311 team has let all the distractions and everything are gone. Tyler's son, from what we hear, is doing fantastic. So, life is good for Tyler Reddick right now. And 3 in a row, going for an unprecedented 4th in a row. And you know what? I I know right now there is a lot of hate being spewed online of Tyler Reddick, a la why people hated Michael Jordan when he was with the Chicago Bulls, because everybody hates a winner. So way to go, Tyler. Go get another one, man. I'm rooting for you.
You know, and we've been very fortunate. You know, we get to know these guys a little bit, and any race fan who ever would meet Tyler Reddick would never say,
if you
I
don't
hate
like Tyler Reddick, then you have a problem.
Literally one of the best people I've ever worked with in that garage, and I could not be happier that he is having this success. And look, I think it was also incredibly impressive that I think we all agree right now SVG is still the best road racer in NASCAR. But Tyler Reddick ran lap after lap after lap with SVG right behind him and never made a mistake. And in fact, he drove away from SVG. I mean, he probably had a little bit better car than SVG.
SVG gave him a great, kudos in his post-race interviews. I mean, he was getting off the corners better. He was getting better runs off of exits, turned better in the center, did just a great job of out-driving arguably one of the greatest road racers in NASCAR. So great job to him. And, some of us bet against SVG in a head-to-head. I mean, I said that then, caveat emptor. I messed up and
you had a plus 170.
I figured I'd take it. And a lot of guys had good races. Daniel Suarez was there with good races. Connor Zilisch was there with good races. Zane Smith. A lot of guys don't have a lot to show for it, but they had some good races.
No question about it. Well, let's take a look at how you could have won last week. Third week in a row, Tyler Reddick was a double-digit odd to win, and a little foreshadowing, he's going to be double digits again this week. He was 18-1 to win, plus 450 for a top three. He won Group A at plus 270, and he brought Toyota home at plus 380. Somebody?
What was that top three number and Toyota number, Jeff? I think those are two pretty good numbers right there.
Plus 450 and plus 380.
Oh, yeah, just checking on that.
You might have picked, I believe, both of those.
I should have picked Tyler to win. I should have really gone out on, but I could not pick against SVG that much, but I should have. But I got the top three winner.
Well, one nice thing when we get to the last segment of the show is we all did well this week.
Yes,
we can
did.
all beat our chests a little bit. All right, let's take a look at our top 10 here. Actually, in the top three there, Shane Van Gisbergen did play second, who was minus 250. So if you bet him for a top three, shame on you. It really wasn't made a whole lot of sense to have done that. Christopher Bell, a really, really strong run coming in on a third place. He was a plus 265. And then we look down the rest of the list. We're really not probably surprised by any of the names except for one. We got Ty Gibbs, McDowell, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Allmendinger. And then we get to the one that
Denny Hamlin top 10. Way to go, Denny. If you could find Denny on a top 10 list on DraftKings or any book, you actually had a big return for a top 10 number. So Denny Hamlin with a top 10, he needed that on a road course because he's been, frankly, almost abysmal on road courses lately. So that was awesome.
Well, and Denny even said, he goes, I feel like I won the race. Yeah. He's racing, with a bad shoulder.
Yep.
On top of everything else. No one had as tumultuous an offseason as Denny had.
Yeah.
But Denny also still gets to go to victory lane for the third week in a row as a car owner. So he and Michael Jordan are killing it as a car owner, even if the on-track results haven't been quite as good. All right, let's take a look at our groups. Obviously, Group A, Tyler Reddick was in there, so he wins Group A. He was a plus 270, and he won it pretty easily. The next guy in line there was Kyle Larson, finishing
but at least
sixth,
a couple top 10s, which is what you expect out of a Group A, even on the road course. So that was, and Byron really thought he would he was doing better throughout the day, but was not there at the end.
Yeah, so it was good to have him on there, the Group A. Now we take a look at our Group B. Fourth place finish for Ty Gibbs. Gets him a Group B win at plus 270. Only one other top 10 out of this group. That was A.J. Allmendinger. But honestly, a pretty disappointing day for a couple of other guys in that group. Chase Briscoe had a mechanical problem, even though he was very fast.
Leading laps and was up front.
And shockingly, Chris Buescher
had a bad day
one of his weaker road course races, and he was running well early. All right, let's take a look at our Group C. Again, a top 5 finish to win Group C. Michael McDowell came in there. He was plus 270. The only other person was even remotely in the same area code was Kyle Busch.
Well, no, Ross Chastain was super strong all day, but had the penalty and the wheel fell off, and proverbially the wheels fell off. And that was you had that as a pick. And I tell you, he was strong to win the race.
I was feeling really good about that.
He was
pick
looking really good all day. The Trackhouse team is not happy about that throwing that away right there.
And probably a little bit of a disappointing run if you're Kyle Busch there. So, all right, let's take a look at our Group D. And look, to me, this was the easiest pick of the week.
Well, Daniel Suarez was good all day long, man. Daniel Suarez was close.
But Ryan Blaney, he wins Group D at a plus 235. And I kind of said the show.
Look at that mustache.
You like it? A little Wyatt Earp going on there?
What?
Wyatt
That's an impressive mustache.
You think Roger likes the mustache?
Probably not, but I don't care. I think Ryan Blaney, you keep that.
I think Blaney's won enough races in a championship now. He can wear that mustache if he wants to, right? But anyway, great run for him there. Then we get to Group E. Denny Hamlin beats out Bubba Wallace by 1 spot to win Group E.
And he did it kind of by wrecking Zane Smith. I mean, Zane was the 3rd or 4th at the chain event?
When people have these desks and they have that little ball that starts and it goes back and forth. I kind of feel like Denny was a ball on the left.
Yeah.
And Connor Zilic was the ball on the right. And there were a lot of balls in the middle.
Between.
And guess who ends up getting knocked off? It was Connor Zilic in there.
There you go.
And anyway, and then also taking a look here at our Group F, where John Hunter Nemechek delivered the win with a 17th place finish. That's about what you expect out of winning a Group F coming in there. But he was plus 265 for that one. So now we got a pretty exciting schedule coming up here. This week we're going to be at Phoenix. Then we come right out here, right in our backyard here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Then it's Darlington. I know you love that race. We got a short track at Martinsville, and then the guys get to have a little Easter holiday before another short track at Bristol. But do you like the fact now, no restrictor plate or whatever we want to call them, no road course? Is this into some real racing here?
I don't ever like to use the word real racing. I always try to stay away from it.
It's all real racing. We get it.
But this is now what you call traditional racing. We got the 1.5 miles, we got the flat mile, we got the tough 1 1/3, we got the 2 short tracks. Now you get to see what teams really are. Is 2311 really that strong? Has Bubba Wallace, who's having a great start, really going to be able to continue that? SVG, top 5 in points. Is he still going to be able to complete this? So now we get to see what people are made of in some of these real tracks where engineering comes in, the race team comes in. Some of that comes into play now.
Well, and I like the fact that we have a West Coast swing, and then we go to 3 of the oldest tracks, 3 of the most traditional tracks on the entire circuit. I mean, and of course,
Super
one
fun.
is my hometown in Martinsville,
Virginia,
which I like. So, okay, we'll be back on Gone Racing, and we'll start breaking down everything you need to know about this weekend's race in lovely Phoenix, Arizona.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show. Every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Welcome back to Gone Racing. Jeff Motley, Brendan Gaughan here in the lovely South Point studio, or Veasan. Well, no, we're not Veasan anymore.
No,
what are we
no.
now? We're the
Whoa,
Gone
hey,
Racing studio.
Take it easy.
See, I can't remember anymore. I'm losing
we got the
it
new
here.
table. It's a
It
new
is beautiful.
stage.
Yeah.
It's a whole new
Hey,
set.
but what are we?
Oh, we're professionally unprofessional.
There we go. So that's my screw up for the day there.
I guess we've already blown the
Yeah,
professional.
we blew that a
out.
long time ago. But great to be back here in our, I guess it's a Dude Wipe studio. Is it still a Dude Wipe studio? Can we get to say that anymore?
Hey,
You
listen,
like
Fast Pasta is driving the 48 this week, so he is going to be making a lot of poopy jokes and because that's his main gig. So even though he's in the 48, he's going to have a lot of poopy jokes flying.
Well, I'm Jeff Motley. This is Brendan Gaughan. We're back on Gone Racing, in whatever studio that we're in here. So, and we're talking everything Phoenix this week, a track that you've got a lot of laps.
I like this place. I mean, I broke my shoulder blade here, had all sorts of ups and downs and goods and bads, but it's a driver's track. It's a tough nails track. You got to really work hard to even when you're good, you're working hard here. And what I say is the greatest mistake in history of building a race course, when they flipped the corners and went turn 1 to turn 4, and they changed the dog leg and created the new restart line and all that. The greatest mistake they ever made was the way they rebuilt that dog leg, and it has made for an absolutely outstanding and wild set of restarts, finishes, driving to the finish, mid-laps, I mean, dive bombs to it really has become a signature move at Phoenix, the way they did that dog leg.
Well, when you start looking at the Phoenix Raceway and you look at some of the guys who've had success here, no one has probably had more success here overall than Joey Logano. He's got 4 wins, 10 top 5s, 18 top 10s, and 34 starts. But, there's another guy that's only got one win, but we got to talk about him, right?
No, you got to talk about it. I mean, the record that right now Ryan Blaney has had, overall, if you look at what we have here on Gone Racin', you're going to see 14 top 10s, 10 top 5s, and 20 races. But, Jeff, dive a little deeper into that. Last 10 races. You ready for this stat? Last 10 races for Ryan Blaney, 9 top 10s, 8 top 5s, average finish 6.0 over 10 races. That is ridiculous. That is why he won the championship a couple years ago. That is why Penske and Fords, we've talked for years, used to spend so much time focusing on Phoenix Raceway.
Yeah, one other guy that I just find a little bit curious, Christopher Bell is a guy we get to the odds. Mm-hmm. He's got pretty good odds. He's had 12 starts there. He's won twice, but strangely enough, only 3 top 10s.
And
it's like feast or famine for him.
I think that might be a typo there. It should be 7 top 10s.
Oh, it is 7. Yeah. Okay, so
I get to make fun. I get to give.
We're still professionally unprofessional.
Wah to our Sybil Trelawney behind the desk there. She was reading her tea leaves and she saw a Grimm. It should have said 7 top 10s.
Okay.
So C-Bell, really, really good there. There's a lot of guys really good there. But remember, back in the day, this is where you tested, right, Jeff? This is where you went to try to be prepared for that championship round. How much effort even though there's still 2 races, still a race in the playoffs, how much effort are these teams really going to put into this now with it not being the championship
Well, I'm going
to
tell you, if you look at the standings right now and you're Christopher Bell or you're Chase Briscoe or you're Denny Hamlin, you better be putting a lot of effort into this race because those guys are already getting way behind.
Well, they're behind. I know they're going to have a reset for some of these things, but you look at these points, there's guys outside. Denny Hamlin is 23rd, 24th is Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe 27th.
That's my point.
Alex Bowman, who's not going to be in this race, already back at 36th. So there is a lot of work to be done. And Austin Cindric in that Ford, 31st. So big-time teams are behind a lot of teams they didn't expect to be behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So they better take this race seriously. All right, let's take a look at our odds to win for this week. And not a big surprise here that Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin come in as the co-favorites at plus 450. Christopher Bell at 550, William Byron plus 600, then Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, and Chase Briscoe are all 10-1. Chase Elliott is 12-1. Josh Berry, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick going for 4 in a row are all at 20-1. Bubba Wallace and Carson Hocevar at 30-1.
I'm looking at some double digits right off the bat here, Jeff. I mean, let's just hit them strong. Hello, you're talking about the guy that's won 3 in a row, the hottest guy in the history of the sport right now, and you're going to tell me that I can get Tyler Reddick at 20-1? I think the South Point, these odds come from there. I need to go up there and maybe throw a piece of paper in front of Vinny and Chris's face and go, you might have this wrong. But how about Kyle Larson, 3rd best point getter in the last 10 races here? How about Chase Briscoe, who, yes, I know, but Chase Briscoe has been absolutely amazing in the later half of his run with and remember, he was leading a bunch of races in the championship race, got behind, got a flat tire. If you remember that championship race, he was actually one of the better cars, but they had a flat and they had like a camber problem. And they were, Chase Briscoe is going to be something to battle here. There's a lot of double digits that I still like. I think we got 4 in a row that are going to be double digit.
And you didn't even mention the guy who's got more wins than any active driver in this race. Joey Logano is also another a double digit guy.
And the Fords are fantastic here. This is one of their best tracks. So, Ford won the first race or the playoff race last year with Ryan Blaney winning the championship race, not the championship. And, they've always been good here. And Josh Berry was 4th here in the spring. So a lot of Fords here.
Yeah, no question. I'm with you too, and I just can't honestly believe that Tyler Reddick is sitting there
20
at
to 1.
20 to 1. I mean, look, we know it was
Going for 4 in a row is tough, but it's still
no
4
one
in a
had
row.
ever done 3 in a row, so maybe that's why it's a high odd, because they're like, well, there's no way. I mean, what's the odd? What would have been the odds?
You flip
somebody could have
a
done
coin 10 times, and it's heads 9 times in a row. What are the odds it's going to be heads the 10th flip?
50-50.
50-50.
We all know that. Okay, let's take a look at our longer shots to win here in Phoenix, and we'll go with Ty Gibbs, Connor Zilic, Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Ryan Prix are all 60 to 1. Austin Dillon and Eric Jones 100 to 1. Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez, John Hunter Nemechek, and SVG Shane Van Gisbergen are 200 to 1, and we have our field bet up there at 20 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, I would not take the field this week. Definitely not a week I'm feeling that. The only thing I can look at down here is you've got a Brad K, of course, we're talking about nursing some problems. But remember, Brad finished 2nd here in the playoff race, in the championship race. Led 6 laps, runs really well here. If you're looking for a sleeper on the deep number, Brad K is not a terrible choice. It's a Ford. Stranger things have happened early on in the season.
Well, I think maybe the couple I look at, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I would not be shocked to see Ty Gibbs have a strong run this week.
I knew you were going to Ty Gibbs.
And Chris Buescher. And the other guy I kind of like here is Ryan Prix.
Chris, look, 5 top 10s in the last 10 races, 3 top 5s. That's not terrible odds right there. Ty, not as good, but I don't mind the RFK cars. If you're going to take a deep shot, I'd take it with the RFK cars.
Well, and I guess part of it is I also like the Toyotas here, and I think that's why I think Ty Gibbs could have a strong run. So we'll see.
Right.
Okay, let's take a look at our top 3s for this week at Phoenix, and no big surprise again. Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin are at the top of the board at plus 165. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell plus 190. William Byron is plus 220. Tyler Reddick, now he's got a lot different odds here for top 3, plus 320. Joey Logano and Chase Briscoe at 350. Chase Elliott 400. Ross Chastain is 500. Josh Berry, Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski all at plus 800. Kyle Busch is 850. Connor Zilic and Carson Hocevar are 10 to 1. Bubba Wallace is 12. Austin Dillon 14. Austin Cindric 15. And Ty Gibbs 18 to 1.
I'm still going to go to the other side there and like that Chase Briscoe at 350. That's a great return. Even Tyler Reddick. Let's say he can't win 4 in a row. Let's say 4 in a row is too big of a stretch. Is he going to be terrible? I highly doubt it. 320 is a great return on him. And if you're looking deeper, 2nd place in points, Bubba Wallace. And here's a guy who's having, the best start to a season. He's got 2 top 10s, last 10 races here. And in those last 10 races, a 7th place. He's had a crash. He's had some breaks. He's had some issues here and there. But Bubba, I think right now is starting off really consistent. And I think he's learned not to hit home runs, to hit singles. And I think this is a track he can come away with. If he got a top 3 here, that would be a triple for him.
I agree with you there. I'm not sure I'm ready to jump on Bubba for this right here. And I mentioned him when I was talking about, maybe crazy odds to win, but Ty Gibbs, 18 to 1.
I know you like him.
I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to go and make that one of my picks this week, but I just don't think I would be shocked if Ty Gibbs was to have a strong run this week and contend at 18 to 1 for top 3.
I said it a couple weeks ago. I was high on Ty Gibbs last couple seasons, and right now I'm on a road course doesn't count as a wait and see for me, right? He did great on the road course. I'm not taking it away. Did a fantastic job. But I want to see him on an oval. It's kind of like Kyle Busch and Ty Gibbs right now are in that same group for me. They got to show me something on the regular season, so to speak, and before I'm jumping back on the bandwagon.
Yeah, and one guy we didn't mention here, we talked about him from COTA, plus 550, Ross Chastain for top 3, and I expect him to be solid.
1 win, 4 top 10s in the last 10 races here. Remember, he won that race a couple years ago during the championship when he wasn't in it.
550, good number.
I like
That's all I'm saying on him. All right, let's take a look at our longer shots here for a top 3. They'll pop them on the board. There we go. Ryan Prix is 20 to 1. Michael McDowell, 25. Shane Van Gisbergen and Austin Hill running this week at 28. Noah Gragson and Daniel Suarez at 35. Eric Jones is 40. Zane Smith and Todd Gilliland are 55. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at 70 to 1, along with A.J. Allmendinger. John Hunter Nemechek is 80 to 1. And Ty Dillon, Riley Herbst, Cole Custer at 110 to 1. And Cody Ware 130 to 1. Anybody here that can get a top 3?
Well, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you'll see the gap where Alex Bowman was in our graphic. Bowman, of course, has been scratched. You know what? I'm going to go on your RFK side. The Ryan Prix number. His last race was 9th here in the championship round back in November. And, Prix, this is a style of track that the old modified guy kind of likes, down and dirty, driver style. So if I'm looking at one on this page, I'd probably look at Ryan Prix. Other than that, I'm not really high on anybody else on these pages. And SVG, doing great. Not top 3 worthy on Phoenix yet, in my opinion.
But I will say this. I'm impressed with the fact that SVG is sitting 5th in the point standings, and we've only had one road course race. So he kept himself out of trouble on the big tracks. These are the kind of tracks where he probably, if he could get a top 15, I think he would probably feel pretty good about it. I think the other guy on here that, I just think, this is a big race for him, Michael McDowell. Yes, his home. It is his home track. It's also his hometown track, and it's not a Martin Truex Jr. home track. I just see Michael McDowell there, sitting at 25-1, and I think to myself, well, if he's going to have a top 3, that's not on a road course or a big
3
track.
top 10s in the last 10 races for Michael McDowell. An 8th in the championship round last year, a 9th and an 8th consecutively a couple years ago. So this is also a very good race. Top 3 worthy. Might be a little tough.
Well, and one other guy I just want to mention out here before we go to break, West Coast guy who's been running well this year, Zane Smith.
Oh, Zane.
Zane Smith, he's sitting there at 55-1 for a top 3, and I can't say that I'd be shocked.
And he's only got 5 races, but he's got one top 10, 9th place this race last year, spring race last year.
Yeah, so he might be a little bit of a dark horse. Okay, we'll be back on Gone Racing. We will give you the driver head-to-heads, and then we'll get into our group matchups.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Welcome back to Gone Racing. Jeff Motley, Brendan Gaughan, and
hopefully they don't open the mics until right before we go, because sometimes
I'm not even sure what you were saying.
Oh yeah, great. They said that was open.
Sure what you were saying over there. So, but we're back.
God.
We're back here in the South Point studio, and it's Gone Racing. I got the studio name right this time.
He's not Brendan Gaughan.
No.
He's Jeff Motley.
If you're watching on YouTube, our names are on the opposite side. It seemed like that'd be a real easy little.
I like it this way. I think everything we do, like if you look at every poster we make, we always stand on the opposite sides. See there it is right there. See, I'm not Jeff Motley.
Yep. Okay. Those are listening on radio.
I actually
have no idea what we're talking
Vinny
about.
today was putting up our jersey. You have your Motley jersey over there in the old race suit, and I said, if we really wanted to keep this consistent, I need to have the Motley behind me, and you need to have the race suit behind you.
Yeah, that would be funny. But they would. Well, I would say they could look at what's behind me and know I've never been a hockey player or a race car driver, so it really doesn't matter which one they put behind me. Okay, we're talking.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Sirius is about to.
Duralast? Is this a Duralast 500. Is that what
Let me
this
go back
race
up for
is
you.
called this week?
It is the Straight Talk Wireless.
Straight Talk Wireless.
You're showing your age. The Duralast used to be when we were
there. It was once upon a time.
Duralast
Straight Talk
500.
Wireless. I can never keep all the title sponsors straight. So anyway, that's what we're talking about this week at Phoenix.
What was his job at Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
Well, yeah, but I wasn't at Phoenix Raceway.
No, I'm just saying. I mean,
so
you think you'd have a little more respect for your brethren.
I will get the Pennzoil 400 right next week. Okay?
Presented by
Jiffy Lube. I know all that too. I've said that many times. Okay, we're moving along to our driver head-to-heads for this week. And Brendan, if you decide that you think it's going to be a bad day for Ryan Blaney,
You can make a lot of money.
there's a lot of money to be made out there.
Yes, there is. And look, there's a couple big ones here. I mean, Kyle Larson is plus 150. Hold on. You're giving me Kyle Larson in a head-to-head matchup. Kyle Larson, who average finished 8.2 in the last 10 races. Only guy better is Blaney, but it's 8-6-1 to 9-8-1. I mean, that is a heck of a battle to give me a plus 150 on. And how about Kyle Larson versus Denny Hamlin? I mean, Denny Hamlin is only 6-3, 6 top 10s, 3 top 5s in the last 10 races. So you're giving me Kyle Larson plus 135, plus 150. Those are two great numbers in a head-to-head matchup.
Well, I totally agree. And I like the Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin. I really do like that one. And I actually also, and I hate to say this, I know I'm the guy that said I thought Denny was going to have a rough year. I wonder how sore he is this week. After
the arm
the road
course and the rest
and everything
of it, yeah.
else. And so I kind of
patting himself on the back for another win as a team owner, 3 in a row. I mean, there's a lot of arm work going on there.
Yeah. Well, and William Byron a plus 110 against Denny. And look, William Byron, we know he's strong here.
Well, Byron's and that's my thing. The second best point getter is actually William Byron, in the last 10 races. So it's Blaney, Byron, Larson, then Bell. So, there's a lot of money to be had here in the head-to-heads. And Blaney has to have a good run. I mean, if Blaney doesn't have a good run, you can make some money.
No question. And if Denny doesn't have a good run, there's money to be made out there too. So, all right, let's
Blaney
move along to our
Blue Motor. That's right.
Yep. All right, let's move along to our group matchups, and we will start off in Group A, where Ryan Blaney comes in as our favorite at plus 235. Then Denny Hamlin is plus 245. Christopher Bell at 265. And you ready for this, folks? William Byron, as you said, the second best point getter over the last 10 races at Phoenix, is a plus 345.
God, that's a lot of juice right there. I mean, that's. Look, I get he's up against the who's who and the what's what here with it Seabell and Denny Hamlin and Blaney, the guys that we've just talked about. But we always talk about enticement. 345. I mean, yeah, I can take him as a plus 110 against Seabell, or I can take him as a plus 110 against Denny, or I can take him as a plus 135 against Blaney. But I can go 345 in a group matchup and get a little bit more return if I think he can beat all three of them. That's a good number. I do like that Byron because I don't think it's a bad bet, and they've enticed me onto it.
Well, I agree with you. I think that's a great number, William Byron, no question about it. But I know he's the favorite here, but let's think about this for a second too. Ryan Blaney is plus 450 to win the race. He's plus 450, and he's got to beat 35 guys.
Yeah.
Plus 235, and he's only got to beat 3 guys. I think I was surprised. I thought this number would be a plus 195 or a plus 205.
You're giving that much
maybe.
love.
Well, I think he's been that solid here. I like a plus 235 on Ryan Blaney here. I really do. I'm not sure I'm going to pick it. I'm leaning toward picking it, but I kind of like that. So, okay, let's move along to Group B.
Speaking of plus 185.
Speaking of plus 185s, this is about the way I thought Group A was going to shake out, but we have noise coming from behind the screen. I have no idea if that made it through on the
Schmidt?
air or not. Was it
Schmidt?
Schmidt? Or
okay. I see why she's Schmitting. If you're watching, see, this is what's fun. SiriusXM, we love you at SiriusXM. We love our listeners, but it's more fun when you get the full professionally unprofessional. She's afraid to even switch the group right now on the YouTube stream because, I bet she's typing back there frantically right now because Kyle Larson is a picture of AJ Allmendinger.
Oh, I see that. Wow.
Yeah, that's just. It's hard to tell. You have the Joey Logano. I'm sorry, I still can't get used to that Joey Logano Telly Savalas picture. But
actually, I think is a better look for Joe.
It's still very stark. But yes, Kyle Larson is not AJ Allmendinger. If you're watching the stream, actually, come on. She's screaming, nope. She's not even going to put it up. So Jeff, you have to read the odds and not see it on the.
And that's all. That's all good. That's all good. Well, our favorite is the not AJ Allmendinger, but Kyle Larson. the other Kyle Larson.
The other
real
Kyle Larson.
The
Yes.
real Kyle Larson.
With the real
He's
Slim Shady team, please stand up.
So he is our favorite in Group B at a plus 185. Then Joey Logano, who we mentioned earlier, he's the leading race winner among active drivers here, is plus 265. And then how about these numbers? Chase Briscoe plus 330 and Chase Elliott a plus 335.
I really, really like Chase Briscoe and Chase Elliott here. Chase Elliott, 5 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 9 starts. He has 1 missed from the accident a couple years ago. His last 3 are 10, 10, and 8 for Chase Elliott, and I really like the Chase Briscoe. That Chase Briscoe, I'm high. You and I both are very high on Chase Briscoe. When you look at stats, you got to remember old stats versus current. Old stats to me go away a little bit. I really like Chase Briscoe here at that 330.
Well, me too. I mean, I there's not even any more analysis I need to go into in this group. I'm completely with you.
But you're betting against Kyle Larson to me is the only problem. The Kyle AJ Allmendinger Larson you're betting against, which to me is almost like an SVG. Kyle Larson really darn good here.
Yeah, but Larson hasn't. Well, granted, it's hard to compare the first 3 races that we've been to right now. But Larson is not off to a stellar start right now. But I agree with you. But Briscoe 330. It's kind of like, I guess, Byron in the other group at 345. I feel like Briscoe's a little bit better than some of these guys.
So do I.
So I do like.
Well, and remember, Chevrolet hasn't won here in a while. It's been a lot of Ford and a lot. Kyle Larson, your champion, but he didn't win the race. Ryan Blaney did. So Fords and Toyotas have dominated here. So if you like that, Chase Briscoe or Joey Logano, and Chase has a big return.
No question. All right, we're gonna talk about Group C very briefly. It's going to be pulled off the board.
If you're at Westgate, it's been scratched. If you're on Gone Racin, you want to hear it, we can tell it to you. But it's scratched.
There is no Alex Bowman was supposed to be in Group C, but he is out of Group C. We have co-favorites in Bubba Wallace and Carson Hocevar are plus 225, and then Ty Gibbs is a long shot here at plus 325.
And I wouldn't have bet this one anyway because Hocevar has been so strong to start this season. He's an X factor to me. Ty Gibbs, we've talked on, and Bubba second in points, riding a deal. And if it was Bowman, this is one of his best tracks, has a historically decent record here. Group C is a non-action line. And if you had a 3-man horse race, I still maybe Ty Gibbs just because of the return.
Yeah. And Bubba is second in points right now, but I don't know that Phoenix has really been one of his better racetracks. So again, it's going to be off the board in any of the books that you go to. I'm not sure what DraftKings will do, but I know
anybody would pull that and put a different guy in or just pull it completely.
Well, but the only problem if you put a different guy in is if people have already made bets, that becomes an issue, correct?
Pull that group. That ticket is void if you had it with Alex Bowman. Anytime it was with Alex Bowman.
All right, let's move along to Group D, and we got Group D. Well, this is a really, really crowded group here. Connor Zilic is the favorite at a plus 250. Then Chris Buescher at plus 270, and Kyle Busch and Ryan Prix at plus 275.
Look, a lot of love for Connor Zilic here. I'm sorry, I'm super excited for the kid, and I hope he has a great career and does amazing things. But still, that's a lot of love for a guy who's a rookie who's never been here in a Cup car. Kyle Busch, the last 2 races with RCR, what have you done for me lately? 8th and 5th.
At Phoenix?
At Phoenix.
Okay.
8th and 5th, last 2 races, and you're going up against, once again, Fords are pretty strong here, but Chris Buescher does not have those stats right now. Chris is much better than Prix, so to me, it's a Chris Buescher. Last 2 races, 12th and 5th for Buescher. So before that, he was 5th, 2nd, 9th, though. So I like, to me, this is a 2-man horse race. To me, it's Kyle Busch or Chris Buescher, 270, 275. It's a pick 'em between those two, and it's going to be too hard for me to handicap between the difference.
I like both. I like a lot of guys in this group here. It's probably one of those where I'm going to throw up the X, but I never ever
want a 3-man horse race to me. I don't know why Connor Zilic is the
I was going to say because I'm not going to downplay Ryan Prix either.
No,
Ryan Prix. I love Ryan Prix. I think he's a guy who probably is cashing more tickets than we even realize sometimes.
Lately.
And you getting him up there in Group D is the only thing that makes that a little bit tougher. All right, let's move along to Group E. We have co-favorites in Group E with Austin Dillon and Eric Jones are both plus 265, and then Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez at plus 270.
I have to look at Suarez. I haven't looked at Suarez's stats right now.
Different car, though.
Different car. And that is true. It is different car. He's got 2 top 10s last 10 races, and those were both a little bit ago. So to me, we talked about it earlier. I mean, if you're going to pick this one, I got to go on the Michael McDowell bandwagon here. 270. He's one of the dogs. It's all a tight number. Austin Dillon, abysmal start to the season. Austin Dillon, 0 top 10s last 10 races, average finish 18.5. So I gotta stick with Michael McDowell right here on this one.
I like McDowell here, but the one name you didn't mention there, and I think he could certainly be a factor here, is Eric Jones in this group. Eric Jones. I just think Eric
Zero
Jones
top 10s, 0 top 5s, average finish 20.9. They're all evenly matched. Honestly, this should be an X. They're all within 1 point, like one position on their last 10 race average. So it's a tough one to handicap.
Well, try to give the guy a little bit of love. That's all. Okay.
Right,
Real quick, we'll take a look at Group F here, where Todd Gilliland and Zane Smith are both plus 265. AJ Allmendinger, Noah Gragson, both plus 270.
The hottest guy's been Zane Smith. You were betting him a lot last year. You still riding that hot hand. He was great last week and just got knocked out near the end. I like Zane Smith, 265.
I'm totally in on Zane Smith on this group right here. I completely agree with you. I think he's racing with more confidence than we've seen in Zane Smith in quite some time. He was going to have a great finish at Austin last week as well, I think, had he been. So, Okay, we'll be back on Gone Racing. We'll get to our manufacturer's props, show you how we did last week, and give you our picks for Phoenix.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rockin' dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Welcome back to Gone Racing, our final segment. Jeff Motley, Brendan
Everybody's
Gaughan.
comedian. Everybody's
Yeah,
comedian.
we got a lot of comedians here.
We got a lot of AJ Allmendingers.
A lot of comedians.
And a lot
we
of
had a lot of AJ Allmendingers. So we have to point out, if you're watching on YouTube, the template
We've just been found.
is set up.
We've been informed because apparently somebody,
The template for every driver is AJ Allmendinger. So
why is he the template? By the way, what makes him the template? Because he's A. Oh, because he's
his last name starts with an A.
Gotcha.
So he was just the
So he's the
first one on
template.
the alphabetical list. So
Gotcha.
he becomes the template. So if the other driver doesn't properly get put in,
the
then
joys you miss.
everybody is AJ Allmendinger.
The joys you miss if you don't watch on the Gone Racing YouTube.
So we thought we were living in Tyler Reddick's world.
We're
really
actually
living
living
in
in
AJ
AJ
Allmendinger's
Understood.
world. So
Well, then now I feel like I need to bet on AJ Allmendinger. I got to go back and look at my picks now because
you got to find out. Well, I don't even think he was in a group.
Yeah, he's in a group-
Oh, he
Group
is.
F.
That's
He's
right,
got
Group
Group
F.
F.
He was in Group F, and we hardly even brought his name up because we had so much love for Zane Smith.
we had his picture everywhere.
Well, his picture was everywhere. Okay, so the last pick we got for this week is getting into our manufacturer pick, where Chevy is a plus 140. Toyota, Brendan has picked it 3 weeks in a row, and 3 weeks in a row, Tyler Reddick has delivered at a plus 160. And Ford, who has the driver who is favored to win the race, at plus 240.
Look, if you talk about, like we said, the last bunch of races here, who's been good? Ford and Toyota. Ford's at plus 240. I mean, right now, I know I'm picking against Kyle Larson. I know I'm picking against Chase Elliott. I know I'm picking against a lot of great Chevrolet drivers that we've talked about, William Byron on this show. But Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, those are two Fords that are pretty darn strong. Brad Keselowski with that second place finish here in the championship round. RFK cars, we've talked about it. You're giving me a 240 in the 3-man horse race. I might have to jump ship on old Toyota and jump on the Ford bandwagon for a weekend because I think I like that return. Remember, it's all about value. I mean, look, NASCAR betting is not traditional betting, Jeff. You don't do minus 110s and take juice and give, you got to find your best deal in a 3-man horse race. Ford plus 240 with the drivers they got. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think my only hold up on that is, look, I think Blaney, if you're going to win with Ford, I think it really is going to have to be with Blaney. Yes, it could be with Joey, but I think Blaney has the best chance. He's 450 to win, and he's 245 to win his group.
Yeah.
So to me, I think
you'd rather take the group or the to win
that's just me. I just think that's the way that I would go on that. But I can understand where you're coming from. Toyota plus 160, clearly not going to get the odds that we saw the last few weeks. So I think that's a toughie. I probably would lean a little bit Toyota. I just and I don't dislike the Ford. It's important to say that I like the Ford bet. I just think there'd be better bets somewhere else if you're looking at Ryan Blaney or Joey Logano's 10-1 to win the race. So. Okay, let's take a quick look at our odds for the championship. And finally, they're starting to realize that Tyler Reddick has a chance to win the championship.
Wow. Took everybody. Listen, we told you guys the last 2 weeks that Tyler Reddick was absolutely a value. And if you did not jump on it, you have now missed the boat. But I got to tell you, 8-1.
There are still 5 drivers with better odds.
I still like him at 8-1. I think there's still value in that. But there are some guys here that have a lot of value still. I think Chase Briscoe went the right way for the bettors. He opened at 800. He's up to 15. I like that a lot still. And I think Joey Logano is still a great value there at 20-1. So there's a lot to be gained here.
And, it's important to also point out that watch these next few races because if I'm not mistaken, everywhere, these next 5 tracks that we're going to, all 5 of them are in the chase.
Yes.
So if you do well in these 5 races,
yes,
it stands to reason that once we get into the chase, those last 10 races at the end of the year, whoever runs well these next 5 weeks should be running well at the end of the year. So this is something for people to pay really close attention to as we move along into the championship.
Now, can we get something I think we should pay close attention to?
Is how we did last week?
Absolutely.
Well, we all did well. No one did as well as you did, so I will give you the pat on the back here. But we will run through each of our picks. I had 2 winners last week. I had Tyler Reddick in his head-to-head with Christopher Bell, and also the Blaney in Group D, which I felt very, very. I mean, I think you knew on the show last week. I felt more strongly about that pick than any pick I made.
And your Chastain bet honestly should have won. Chastain was up there killing it. So that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that one was pretty disappointed. You had 2 big wins, picking a top 3 with Tyler Reddick and also that Toyota win. And now Toyota was not the long shot.
Nope.
They were not the favorite. They were the middle child.
They were 380. I mean, that 380 just stuck out to me with the drivers they had. I had to jump on that, and so I was pretty happy with that. And that was a 7.3 units for the week for me. I'm kind of happy.
So Tyler Reddick got a win for me. Tyler Reddick got 2 wins for you.
Technically, yes.
And then he got 2 wins for the pit crew. So the pit crew also had the Reddick top 3. And you guys didn't even have to sweat his top 3. That's the thing about it. Because the only car that was even going to have a remote chance to beat him was SVG. And even if SVG beat him, you're upset you didn't pick Reddick to win. Now.
I am upset I didn't pick Reddick to win. But never, hey, them tickets, baby. It's always a sweat. Till that checkered flag, you always sweat it out.
And the pit crew also had the Reddick over Bell, like I had there.
So
what that does mean is that all of us have now moved into the positive in the season standings. But you have stretched your lead out a little bit here. You're 11.45 units ahead
So I've learned last week after the show that my picture changes based off of my position in the field every week. So
what do they think? I'm just happy to be last?
Well, I mean, they just think you're happy to be here. Maybe, I don't know. Me, they have to change it every time. Because I found this out last week, by the way. Ann showed me a couple different versions of me, and that just goes to show me that next time we do a photo shoot, I think I got to stick with the professional faces, not the professionally unprofessional faces. Although this is a face for radio, which is why SiriusXM, you guys are lucky you're not looking at.
For all those folks that are listening to us or watching us on YouTube, we should point out, it was a couple years ago, we shot all these videos, we were shooting money into the.
Oh yeah.
Whatever happened to those? Did you ever see those?
I don't know.
Go anywhere?
I remember the money one. Yeah, we had the money guns.
It was fun.
I remember the money guns. Yeah,
we were doing the Charlie's Angels thing.
Yeah. Well, I think part of those pictures actually might have come from that because that's my goofy faces.
We had to put on. We had to put on jackets.
That might have been the other TV show Media Day, and so we don't have the rights to those probably.
Oh well, if I believe Ann was behind the camera. To me, if Ann took it. And it was our show. It's our show, right? We've moved this show around, but
we did.
It's still.
Permission to use it. Maybe we can find it. Maybe we'll find some of those.
Okay. All right, it's time to get in there.
I'm going to sit back for a little bit and just relax.
Yeah, you relax. We'll get to you in a little while.
You guys,
you need to step out, grab a sandwich or something.
Bite to eat or something. And
your picks. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go. I have to go first. It's not like I'm choosing to go first over here.
Suckers.
I'm gonna go with top 3 this week. Ross Chastain.
Okay.
I'm going Ross Chastain at a plus 550 for top 3. I got 2 head-to-heads this week. Sorry, Denny Hamlin, picking against you this week, but I'm doing Byron at plus 110 over Denny and Kyle Larson plus 135 over Denny. And then I'm going with 2 group picks this week. I think one is neither one of these are going to be a big surprise to you. Chase Briscoe at plus 330 in Group B. And, I love me some Zane Smith right now in Group F at plus 265. I mean, you may call it, you guys may say it's Group F. Guess what? It pays. If you win, it pays. And with that, wait till I tell you what the pit crew is.
This is the Sybil Trelawney, by the way, reference right now that we're getting to the pit crew picks. Sybil Trelawney, Professor Trelawney, please give us your divination lesson and let me hear our pit crew picks.
Sybil, how you say that?
Sybil Trelawney.
Trelawney? So that would be an Italian name, right?
Professor Trelawney. It's in a Harry Potter
Trelawney,
world.
would that be an Italian name? Well, I'm just saying Trelawney, Logano, what you're getting ready to find out is it may be Sybil Logano is what we're going to be reading off right here. So I'm going to read the pit crew picks. And, when I was talking about Blaney?
Yeah.
Well, they weren't listening to me on the Blaney.
Okay, got it.
They are going Joey Logano to win 10-1. Joey Logano for a top 3 at plus 350. Joey Logano to win Group B at plus 265. And a Ford driven by Joey Logano to win at plus 240. And then shockingly, they're going Christopher Bell to win Group A. So if Joey, if you have a bad day, then we will not get the same text that we got from Ann last week when she was cashing in a bunch of tickets.
The South Point studio here, they do a lot of other gambling shows besides ours. And I don't believe there's a single show. We need to get Alex in here. And there's not a single show that would agree with putting all your eggs in one basket like that. I don't care what you're betting on. That I'm hearing Adam Sandler in my head. We are all stupider for having listened to that.
Are you referring to my delivery or the picks?
No, the picks. The delivery was spot on right there. All right, let me get to mine. I still have one pick that I'm debating on right now, but I'm going to start with 2 top 3s.
You had all that time?
Yes. I lost my train of thought in the dissertation of Adam Sandler's high school picks there. So I got 2 top 3s. I got Briscoe top 3 at 350 and Reddick top 3 at 320. Both those top 3s right there. I like both of them. I'm high on Briscoe and Reddick. He didn't have to win. He just has to have a top 3. I got one head-to-head. I got Larson versus Denny at plus 135. You're giving me Kyle Larson at 135.
Copycat.
I had another one. I actually had Larson versus Blaney, but I'm picking Ford at plus 240 to win. So I want a chance to win both of those, not like the pit crew who loses everything with one driver. And then I'm debating between Blaney for Group A or McDowell for Group E. What do you think? I don't know. I think I got too many eggs. I'm going to go McDowell Group E. I'm going to give Michael McDougal some love today and give me a Michael McDougal Group E at plus 270.
Well, I'm going to kind of admit, I'm a little surprised you didn't take the Briscoe Group B. You were really...
No, I like that Larson pick too much, and I do like Blaney Group A, though. I do think that's a very good pick, but I'm going to go Michael McDowell. Michael's had he's getting better and better every time.
Well, and all cards on the table, I had Blaney circled in Group A. I really liked Blaney
So
in
do
Group
I.
A, and then I couldn't bring myself to do it, and I scratched it out.
No, I kind of had it there. We're both going to kick ourselves probably after the race for that.
Well, Phoenix, did you ever win at Phoenix?
No.
No wins at
I
Phoenix?
broke a shoulder blade, finished third a couple times, had a couple good races, but it was a fun race. I loved it.
It's a great racetrack, so I hope everybody will tune in this weekend. IndyCar and NASCAR together.
We used to do that with trucks all the time.
IndyCar on
It was
Saturday,
a fun time to do.
Cup race on Sunday. So, okay, that'll do it for us this week on Gone Racing. We'll be back next week, tell you all about Phoenix, and guess what? We'll be in our hometown, Pennzoil 400, presented by Jiffy Lube.